What do you get when you mix a minefield, a camera crew, and a prince with a serious case of déjà vu? You get Harry's latest PR adventure in Angola. And folks, we need to talk about this pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore. So here's what happened. Prince Harry just wrapped up another trip to Angola, and if you're getting major flashbacks right now, you're not alone. This is literally the third time he's done this exact same routine, walking through minefields, channeling Diana, and serving up that familiar mix of humanitarian theater and nostalgia marketing. But here's the thing that's got everyone talking. This isn't just about one trip. This is about a man who seems to have turned his mother's legacy into his entire brand strategy. And honestly, it's getting weird. Let's rewind for a second. Back in 1997, Princess Diana walked through that famous minefield in Angola. Iconic moment, right? It was powerful, it was real, and it actually helped change international policy on landmines. Fast forward to today, and Harry's essentially turned that moment into his greatest hits album, except he keeps playing the same song over and over. First, he did it in 2019 in South Africa. Then Angola. Now Angola again. At this point, I'm expecting a Minefield World Tour with VIP meet and greets. Now, don't get me wrong, the cause is important. Kids shouldn't have to fear walking to school because of unexploded ordnance. That's real. That matters. But here's where it gets interesting. Word is that these trips are actually funded by the charities themselves. So Harry's essentially being paid to show up, look serious for the cameras, and recreate his mom's photo ops. Think about that for a second. This isn't spontaneous charity work, this is contracted content creation with a humanitarian filter. But here's what's really fascinating about all this. Harry seems to have painted himself into a corner where his entire public identity revolves around being Diana's son. And look, I get it, losing your mom at 12 is traumatic. That shapes you forever. But we're talking about a 39-year-old man who's essentially turned his grief into his career. Meanwhile, William's out there developing his own causes, building his own legacy. But Harry? He's stuck in this loop where every major public appearance has to somehow connect back to Diana. It's like he's afraid that without that connection, people might forget who he is. And the awkward part? Even the kids in these photo ops seem to sense something's off. You can see it in their faces, those blank stares, the awkward body language. It's like they instinctively know they're being used as props in someone else's story. Speaking of props, let's talk about Meghan's convenient absence from these trips. She's always home with the kids during these Diana tribute acts. Coincidence? Or strategic decision to avoid another round of public scrutiny? Because here's the thing, Meghan's tried the Diana cosplay route before. We've all seen those vintage shots of her attempting to channel that same energy. But apparently, lightning doesn't strike twice, and now Harry's flying solo on these nostalgia tours. This is where it gets really interesting. These Angola trips aren't happening in a vacuum. They always seem to coincide with some other drama, falling podcast deals, financial pressures, or those mysterious peace talks with King Charles that never seem to lead anywhere. It's like Harry's developed this go-to move. When things get tough, pull out the Diana card. Need positive headlines? Minefield walk. Want to seem relevant? Reference mummy. Facing criticism? Time for another humanitarian photo op. But here's what's really sad about all this. Harry had everything. Born into privilege, military service, natural charisma when he was younger. He could have built something entirely his own. Instead, he's chosen to be a walking tribute act. And the worst part? It's not working. Each time he does this, it feels more desperate, more transparent. People are starting to see through the pattern. Even his supporters are getting tired of the recycled PR tactics.